Let's be honest, most of us are controlled by our emotions. A rude comment from a stranger, a project that veers off plan, a little unexpected traffic, and just like that, the whole day feels shot. We give away our inner peace to things we have absolutely no control over. But what if you didn't have to? What if you could build a mind so resilient, so fortified, that the chaos of the world just couldn't touch your inner calm? This isn't a new idea. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism, which flourished in Greece and Rome, is a blueprint for exactly that. This video pulls out 10 of its most powerful lessons, practical tools that can give you back control and help you forge a truly unbreakable spirit. Let's get into it. Lesson 1: Master the Dichotomy of Control. The first and most fundamental lesson of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. It's a simple but game-changing idea from the philosopher Epictetus. Some things are up to us, and others are not. What's up to us? Our judgments, our impulses, our actions, our responses. Basically, our own minds. What's not up to us? Pretty much everything else: our bodies, our reputations, what other people do, and the cards life deals us. The problem is, we spend most of our lives getting anxious and frustrated trying to control what we can't. We get furious at the traffic. We obsess over what someone thinks of us. We beat ourselves up over past mistakes. All of this is wasted energy. The Stoic path to peace is to ruthlessly distinguish between these two and focus only on what's yours to command. You can't control someone else's rudeness, but you can control your response. You can't control the outcome of a presentation, but you can control the effort you put into it. Shifting your focus like this is the key to unlocking real peace. When you let go of the externals, you reclaim your power. Nothing outside your mind can harm you unless you let it. Lesson 2: See the obstacle as the way. Most people see an obstacle as a roadblock. A tough project, a financial hit, a personal failure. We see them as annoying interruptions to our lives. The Stoics had a radical reframe, captured perfectly by the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The problem isn't the obstacle, it's how we see it. We see a problem and feel defeated. A Stoic sees the same problem and asks, what virtue is this situation calling on me to practice? A difficult coworker is a chance to practice patience. A sudden failure is an opportunity to practice resilience. A complex challenge is a training ground for creativity. Every obstacle is a custom-made workout for your character. It's not something to avoid, it's something to use. Like a fire that turns everything in its path into fuel, a strong mind can convert adversity into strength. When you adopt this mindset, nothing is truly a setback. Every challenge is just a chance to get stronger, wiser, and better. The path isn't blocked, the obstacle is the path. Lesson 3: Practice premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This is going to sound pessimistic at first, but stick with it, because it's one of the most powerful tools for building resilience. The practice, known as premeditatio malorum, involves deliberately visualizing worst-case scenarios. As the philosopher Seneca put it, what is quite unlooked for is more crushing in its effect, and unexpectedness adds to the weight of a disaster. Most of us float through life on a cloud of fragile optimism, just hoping nothing goes wrong. So, when it inevitably does, we're shocked and devastated. The Stoic, however, prepares. They take a few moments to think about what could go wrong. They might face criticism, lose their job, get sick. By contemplating these things in advance, They do two crucial things. They strip away the shock factor from adversity, and they cultivate a deep gratitude for everything they have right now. This isn't about wallowing in anxiety, it's a strategic rehearsal. By imagining the loss of your possessions, you appreciate them more today. By preparing for a difficult conversation, you can respond with calm instead of panic. You're basically building psychological armor, giving yourself a vaccine against the blows of fortune. You prove to yourself that even if the worst happens, you have the inner resources to handle it. Lesson 4: Embrace amor fati, a love of fate. What if you didn't just put up with the events of your life, but actually loved them? This is the core of amor fati, a love of fate. While the famous phrase comes from the philosopher Nietzsche, the spirit of the idea is deeply Stoic. It's the principle that we should embrace everything that happens, good and bad, as necessary. Most of us fight reality. We complain about our circumstances, resent the past, and wish things were different. This resistance is a huge source of suffering. Amor fati offers another way: total, active acceptance. It's the practice of treating every single moment, no matter how difficult, as something to be embraced, not just endured. A missed flight, a failed relationship, an unexpected illness, the Stoic doesn't just bear these things, they welcome them. Why? Because they're part of the fabric of life, and to wish them away is to wish away reality itself. It's understanding that every event is an opportunity. This isn't passive resignation. It's an active, powerful choice to find the good, to use every circumstance as fuel, and to say yes to life in its entirety. Lesson 5: Take the view from above. When you're stuck in a problem, it feels all-consuming. Your worries feel like the most important thing in the universe. The Stoics had a powerful visualization to break this spell: the view from above. Just as Marcus Aurelius would, imagine yourself floating up from your body. See your room, then your house, your city. Keep rising until you see the continents, and finally, the entire earth as a tiny blue marble in the vastness of space. Think of all the billions of people, their frantic activities, their joys, their sorrows. Now, zoom out through time, think of the endless generations before you and the ones that will come long after you're gone. From this cosmic perspective, how big are your immediate frustrations? That traffic jam, that critical email, that minor argument, they all shrink into their proper size. This exercise doesn't erase your problems, but it puts them in context. It fosters humility, shrinks the ego, and connects you to the bigger picture, reminding you that most of what we worry about is, in the grand scheme of things, pretty small stuff. Lesson 6: Don't be disturbed by others. So much of our daily frustration comes from other people. They're rude, they're inconsiderate, they're unfair. Our knee-jerk reaction is anger and resentment, which means we're giving them power over our peace of mind. The Stoics taught that the actions of others are not in our control, and therefore shouldn't be allowed to disturb us. Marcus Aurelius would start his day by reminding himself that he would meet meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, and dishonest people. By expecting it, he wasn't surprised or angered when it happened. He believed that people act this way out of ignorance, not true malice. They simply don't know what is good. To be upset by someone's behavior is to assume they should know better, but you don't control their character. You only control your judgment. As Epictetus said, it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. Someone's rudeness is a fact. Whether it's harmful or insulting is your interpretation. An unshakable mind refuses to let its peace be held hostage by anyone else's behavior. Lesson 7: Practice voluntary hardship. Our world is obsessed with comfort. We chase it constantly, and as a result, we've become fragile. We're terrified of being uncomfortable, whether it's hunger, cold, or just boredom. The Stoics believed that to build a resilient mind, you have to intentionally practice hardship. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, would periodically live as if he were poor, eating basic food and sleeping on a hard floor. He wasn't punishing himself, he was training. He would ask, "Is this the condition that I feared?" By willingly experiencing discomfort, he did two things. He lowered his fear of future and voluntary hardship, and he dramatically increased his appreciation for what he usually had. You can apply this in simple ways. Take a cold shower. Fast for a day. Sleep on the floor for a night. Leave your phone at home on purpose. This practice is like a vaccine. By exposing yourself to a small, controlled dose of discomfort, you build immunity to life's bigger, uncontrolled difficulties. You prove that your well-being doesn't depend on comfort, and you develop a quiet confidence that you can handle whatever life throws your way. Lesson 8: Journal for self-reflection. The biggest battles are always fought inside our own minds. To win, you need clarity, and the Stoics found that clarity through journaling. The famous Meditations by Marcus Aurelius was never meant to be a book, it was his private journal. For the Stoics, this wasn't a diary for venting. It was a rigorous exercise in self-examination. Seneca described his nightly ritual: "I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said, hiding nothing from myself, passing nothing by." This is about holding yourself accountable. At the end of each day, ask yourself a few tough questions. Where did I act with integrity? Where did I fall short? Was I ruled by emotion or by reason? What can I do better tomorrow? This practice helps you spot your own flawed patterns of thought and behavior. It lets you prepare for the next day, reinforcing your principles so you don't keep making the same mistakes. It's the tool you use to become your own teacher. Lesson 9: Remember that virtue is the sole good. We spend our lives chasing many things: wealth, status, pleasure, even health. The Stoics had a name for these things: indifference. They aren't bad, but they aren't inherently good either. They have conditional value, but they are external and can be taken away in an instant. The only true good, the Stoics argued, is virtue, having an excellent character. Virtue is shown through 4 key qualities: wisdom, knowing what to do; justice, treating others fairly; courage, facing difficulty; and temperance, mastering your desires. Unlike wealth or health, your character is entirely within your control. No one can force you to be unwise, unfair, cowardly, or self-indulgent. This is where your real power lies. This lesson completely reorients your value system. Instead of asking, "What can I get?" you start asking, "Who can I be?" Success is no longer measured by what you have, but by who you are. Did you act with courage? Were you fair? Did you show self-control? When you make virtue your North Star, you become truly free. Your happiness is no longer built on the shifting sands of fortune, but on the solid rock of your own character. Lesson 10: Remember death, memento mori. Of all the Stoic lessons, this one is the most sobering and the most clarifying. Memento mori, remember that you will die. In our culture, we do everything we can to avoid the thought of death. The Stoics did the opposite. They embraced it as a source of meaning and urgency. Thinking about the fact that life is finite doesn't have to be morbid, it can be incredibly liberating. It forces you to ask the big questions: Am I spending my limited time on what actually matters? Am I wasting my days on petty arguments, mindless scrolling, and other people's drama? Knowing your time is limited is a powerful filter. It separates the essential from the trivial. It inspires you to live more fully, love more deeply, and stop putting off being the person you want to be. The next time you feel yourself getting caught up in some petty frustration, just whisper to yourself, memento mori. This perspective has a way of dissolving ego, fear, and procrastination. It urges you to stop waiting and start living, to live each day as if it were your last, with purpose, gratitude, and a mind that is truly unshakable. These 10 lessons aren't just cool ideas, they are a training system for your mind. They're tools to be used every day, not just understood once. Start with 1. Just for today, practice the dichotomy of control. Rehearse one worst-case scenario. Take the view from above for 60 seconds. With each small practice, you'll feel yourself getting calmer, stronger, and more resilient. The chaos of the world won't change, but your ability to navigate it will. You'll go from being a slave to your emotions to becoming the master of your own mind. If this video brought you some value, subscribe for more wisdom on building an unbreakable spirit. And maybe share it with someone who needs to hear one of these lessons today. Thanks for watching.